Hello, 大家好, I'm Grace. In today's video, I will introduce 10 commonly used Chinese phrases in TV dramas. These phrases are very colloquial. You can also use them in your daily conversation. Also, this video is sponsored by Skillshare, but more about that later. 那我们话不多说，现在就开始吧。The first one is 怎么了？怎么了？怎么了？ What's wrong? What happened?
怎么了？
怎么了？
If your friend seems to be upset or angry, you can ask them 怎么了？怎么了？ So it's kind of a way to show that you care about the person and also to know what happened.
怎么了？有心事啊？
没事。
怎么了 can also be used as a response when someone grabs your attention and wants to talk to you. 老师，怎么了？你的书拿反了。Oh, 抱歉。You might also hear people say 怎么啦？怎么啦？怎么啦？ It sounds more casual.
怎么了？
没什么事儿，吃你的。
怎么了？你们不说话呀？想什么呢？
Sometimes you might hear people say 怎么回事？怎么回事？怎么回事？ What happened? What's going on?
真是。
怎么了？怎么回事啊？
爸，怎么回事啊？
怎么了 and 怎么回事 both can be used to ask what happened, but 怎么回事 expresses a stronger feeling of concern. It's more serious, and people use this to ask for an explanation of what happened or how things happened.
月亮，哎呀，那个。
怎么回事啊？
The next one is 你还好吗？你还好吗？你还好吗？ Are you okay?
你还好吗？
This can be used with the first one. When you see your friend and they seem to be unhappy or don't feel well, you can ask them, 你还好吗？怎么了？你还好吗？怎么了？你还好吗？怎么了？ Are you okay? What's wrong? The fourth one is
对了，
哦，对了，
对了，对了。对了 has two different meanings. It can mean right, correct, but in TV dramas and in daily conversation, usually it doesn't mean this. In daily conversation, we often use this phrase to bring up something we suddenly think of. So it's kind of like by the way in English. So 对了 can be used as a starter when you want to talk about a particular subject that might not be directly related to the previous conversation.
你可别跟我去啊！哎，对了，我上次跟你说要请李尖尖他哥哥们吃饭的事，跟他说了没？
对了 can also be used to give further information. 好啦，那今天课就上到这边，下次要考第10课，记得复习。对了，第10课的内容比较多，要提早开始复习哦。好，没问题，谢谢老师。The next one is 我跟你说，我跟你说，我跟你说。
我跟你说，
我跟你说，我 is I, 跟你 is to you, with you, and 说 is to say. It can be translated into let me tell you something. In daily conversation, we often use this phrase when we want others to pay attention to what we are going to say.
我跟你说哦，我成绩很稳定的，一直都是倒数第2。
我跟你说，你可不能跟他学那些旁门左道的东西。
If you are talking to more than one person and you want all of them to pay attention to what you are going to say, then you can change the 你 into 你们 and say 我跟你们说，我跟你们说。Here are some alternatives that you can use. Other than saying 我跟你说, you can also say 我跟你讲，我跟你讲 or 我告诉你，我告诉你。And for 我跟你们说, you can use 我跟你们讲，我跟你们讲 or 我告诉你们， 我告诉你们 to replace it. But remember, these phrases are kind of casual and informal, so it's a bit impolite to use them to talk to people who are older than you. But you can use them when you talk to your friends. Okay, let's take a break and let me introduce you the sponsor for today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where you can learn new things and develop new skills. I've been learning a lot and exploring two different skills after I started taking classes on it. Lately, I saw that they have a class, Modern Meditation. Discover Your Potential, Power, and Purpose by Justin Michael Williams. I've always wanted to try meditation because sometimes I feel like I have a lot on my mind and that prevents me from concentrating. And it really consumes my energy. I've actually tried meditation several times before, but it didn't work. This class helps dispel common myths about meditation to find what works for me. So I'd like to try and see how it works. If you also want to try and learn something new online, Skillshare is a good online learning platform where you can learn without distraction because there are no ads, and it also constantly launches new premium classes so you can keep learning and developing new skills. On Skillshare, you can access thousands of inspiring classes on topics like photography, illustration, and creative writing, etc. If you want to give it a try first, you can check out the link in the description box. The first 1,000 people who use that link can get a 1-month free trial, and you can start exploring and learning new things today. Alright, let's move on to the next one. 真的吗？真的吗？真的吗 means really. You might also hear people say 真的假的？真的假的？真的假的？ or 真假？真假？真假？ They all mean the same thing. You can use these phrases when you want a confirmation for what you just heard, or you can use them to simply show that you're surprised about what you heard. 我跟你说，真的吗？真的。If someone says something that makes you feel surprised and unbelievable, in this case, 真的吗 might not be enough for expressing how surprised you are. Then you can use this phrase. 不会吧？不会吧？不会吧？ No way.
是我这辈子喝过最好喝的骨头汤了。
不会吧？你不是在安慰我吧？
Let's move on to the next one. 怎么办？怎么办？怎么办？ What should I do? When we have no idea what to do with a situation or don't know how to deal with a problem, people often ask 怎么办 and hope that someone can give some advice.
怎么办呀？
啊？那怎么办？
The next one is
等一下，
等一下，等一下，等一下。Wait a minute. You can also say 等等。等等等等。
你等等。
Finally, the last one for today is 想得美，想得美，想得美。You wish. 想得美 is used to tell someone that the thing they want to happen is definitely not going to happen. 我有一件事想跟你说。怎么了？你要不要当我的女朋友？想得美。Alright, that's it for today. Thank you all for your feedback. Today's content was inspired by some of your comments. I hope you enjoyed today's video. 那如果你喜欢今天的影片，别忘记帮我按赞、订阅和分享哦。And also, if you want to learn some daily Mandarin expressions, check out my Instagram, Grace Mandarin. 那我们就下次见喽，拜拜。